Hey guys, it's Duchess, and happy Tesla Tuesday. That's a thing now. I'm making that a thing. Okay. It's the time of year when the new batch of animated feature films are about to start coming out. Actually, as I'm uploading this, the first one comes out in just a few days. So I wanted to make a quick little video about the upcoming animated movies of 2015, and my thoughts just based on what's already been released about each movie at this point. So let's find out if 2015 looks as promising as 2014 was for animation. The first one is Strange Magic, produced by Lucasfilm Animation, with a story written by George Lucas inspired by A Midsummer Night's Dream. It is set to be released on January 23rd. This is a jukebox musical with songs from various decades and genres, which could end up as kind of a mess, but it could also work. I'll just have to see how the music is incorporated and executed in the context of the movie. The trailer seems to be mostly disliked, and I don't really see many people especially excited for this movie. And I can understand that. The trailer was very average, nothing about it looked exciting, and it wasn't particularly funny. But I will still be open-minded about this movie for two reasons. Number one, I've honestly seen worse trailers, some of them for movies that turned out to be great. Number two, the director Gary Rydstrom said that this movie was based on the idea of a Beauty and the Beast story where the Beast doesn't change physically. And honestly, I find that concept interesting, if, like I said, it's executed well. I'm also looking forward to Kristen Chenoweth as the voice of the Sugar Plum Fairy. This movie could prove to be as unexciting as the trailer, but who knows? It may surprise people. The SpongeBob Movie 2, Sponge Out of Water by Paramount Animation and Nickelodeon Movies comes out on February 6th, and I couldn't be more mixed about it. The story centers around SpongeBob and the gang going to the surface, where they go from 2D to 3D models to get the Krabby Patty secret formula from Burger Beard the Pirate. They transform into superheroes to fight Burger Beard and his crew of supervillains. Like I said before, I'm really mixed on this movie. It has pretty much the exact same amount of pros and cons that seem to be weighing on each other. Like, okay, this movie might be really bad because the current episodes of the show are really bad. But then again, Steven Hillenburg, the original creator of the show, hasn't been a part of the show since 2004 and is the executive producer for this movie. And I mean, it could be really funny. There are quite a few funny jokes in the trailer, mostly in the beginning in the 2D Bikini Bottom scenes. But then again, it could be really unfunny because a lot of the jokes in the trailer after they went to the surface fell flat. And the story could be really lame and tired, but it could also be really clever and funny. So I'm pretty much just going to remain cautiously optimistic. Like I said about Strange Magic, an unimpressive trailer doesn't necessarily mean it will be an unimpressive movie. And the trailer wasn't even all bad for me. There were quite a few jokes I laughed at, and the animation in both the 2D and 3D segments looks nice. If anything, this can't be worse than some of the awful episodes from the more recent seasons of the show. Dreamworks Animation's Home will be released on March 27th, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Based on the book The True Meaning of Smek Day by Adam Rex, the story is about an alien race known as the B.O.O that decides to make Earth their new home planet and begins to relocate the human race. A teenage girl named Tip is on the run and is also accompanied by a B.O.O named O. The film looks like it'll be really fun and both the main characters seem very likable. I'm looking forward to hearing Jim Parsons in a voice acting role, and I love Tip's design. You can already appreciate the animation of all the curls in her hair. There was one uncomfortable gross-out joke in one of the trailers, but other than that, the movie looks like it'll be thoroughly enjoyable. Plus, I tend to like DreamWorks movies that have aliens in them. Also, this is the first CG animated film with a black female lead, and representation is really important, so I urge you guys to see this when it comes out. Underdogs is a Spanish-Argentine production that will be dubbed in English and distributed by the Weinstein Company and released in the US on April 10th. The film is about a foosball team trying to get back together after being dismantled. This was the only movie coming out this year that I didn't know about until I saw the full lineup of 2015 animated movies. I'm currently unsure about this movie. It's hard to say what it'll be like because the only trailers for it are not in English. The character designs look a little odd, not just on the foosball characters, but the humans as well, but the textures and scenery do look nice. I guess it's just hard to get excited about a full-length movie where the main characters are foosball players that come to life, at least for me personally. But hey, it could be interesting, especially since there are human characters in it as well, and they could do a lot of stuff with size and scope considering the main characters are around 6 inches high. Again, not so sure on this one. Maybe I'll have more to say when there's an English trailer so I know more about the story, dialogue, and voice acting. DreamWorks' other movie set to come out in 2015 is B.O.O, or B.O.O, which stands for Bureau of Otherworldly Operations. There's no official release date yet. While the movie was supposed to come out on June 5th, the release date was pushed back, and there isn't one set at this time. However, it's still predicted to come out in 2015. The plot centers on a top-secret government agency that uses ghosts to protect humans from evil. This already has me from the premise alone because it reminds me a lot of one of my favorite Dreamworks movies, Monsters vs. Aliens, but with ghosts instead of monsters. I definitely get all the connections to Ghostbusters people are pointing out, especially with Bill Murray being part of the voice cast, but I still think it has the potential to be its own thing. There's no trailer yet, but I'm still looking forward to this as much as I'm looking forward to Home. 2015 should be a pretty good year for Dreamworks. Inside Out by Pixar is due on June 19th, and it's about a young girl named Riley and the personified emotions inside her head that play a huge role in how she thinks, feels, and behaves. The emotions are joy, sadness, anger, disgust, and fear, and they all look like really fun, memorable, well-designed characters. I also think the voice actors they chose for all these characters are pretty much perfect fits. It has 2 trailers currently out, a teaser and 1 official trailer, and they both got me pretty excited for this movie. I think this concept has a lot of potential, and I'm sure Pixar will take full advantage of that. While there is some kind of questionable sexism in the trailer, most of the comedy comes from Riley's parents having very gender-based, stereotypical thoughts and feelings. I, of course, won't pass judgment on that kind of stuff until I see the movie when it comes out. This is still one of my most anticipated movies of this year. Minions is the upcoming Despicable Me spin-off movie by Illumination Studios and is focused entirely on the widely popular Minions. The release date is July 10th. This movie is a prequel about the Minions trying to find a greater purpose in life, that being a new master to serve. I guess you could say I'm a casual fan of the Despicable Me movies. I thought the first movie was cute, but not anything really special, and frankly, I liked the second one more than I wish I did. While I don't dislike the Minions, they were never my favorite part of the franchise, so I'm not super interested in this movie. It is nice to know that there are new human characters, meaning that there will be actual dialogue outside of minion babbling for 90 minutes. That should also provide some comedic possibilities, since I always found the Minions more entertaining to watch when they had human characters like Gru or the girls to play off of. Like I said, it's not one I'm most excited for, but I'll still see it and probably like it okay. And now we have my absolute most anticipated animated movie of 2015, Hotel Transylvania 2. This is Sony Pictures' sequel to their 2012 film Hotel Transylvania, which is one of my favorite movies ever. This sequel will be released on September 25th. I've been hyped for this movie since they first announced there would be a sequel. Almost all of the original cast is returning, along with at least 1 new character, and it'll share the same director as the first movie, Genndy Tartakovsky. I am majorly excited for this movie. I just know it's going to be fun, charming, and hilarious, with some great fast-paced animation just like the first one. I'm also interested in how this story is going to continue, since there are quite a few possibilities that I can think of. Sony Pictures Animation has proven that they can give a good movie a good sequel with their Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs movies, so I have the utmost faith that this will be good as well. Honestly, just give me more Johnny and Mavis, and I'll be more than satisfied. Another one of the movies I'm most excited for in 2015 is Peanuts by Blue Sky Studios, set to be released on November 6th. It will be a 3D animated adaptation of the Peanuts comics and cartoons by Charles M. Schulz. There's not much current information on the story, but I'm still pretty hyped just from the trailer. I think the way they used the CG to emulate the style of the Peanuts cartoons looks great. I've been especially pleased with Blue Sky's latest films, mainly Rio 1 and 2, along with Epic, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how this movie will come out. There's not much to say about this one yet, but it definitely has my interest. The Good Dinosaur is Pixar's second movie this year, which is a first for the company. This one is due on November 25th, so in the span of half a year, we'll be getting 2 Pixar movies. If that's not enough reason to be excited about 2015, I don't know what is. I'll admit I am more excited for Inside Out at the moment, but to be fair, more of that movie has been shown than this one. The premise of this movie is based around the question, what if the meteor missed Earth completely and the dinosaurs never died out? It was initially set for a 2014 release, but after changing directors, it was pushed to 2015. Some might view this as a bad sign, but I'm hopeful that, much like Home, they'll use the delayed release to make this movie the best they can, and the end product will feel more complete than if they hadn't delayed it. I'm still intrigued by the premise and seeing what Pixar will do with dinosaurs that last longer than they did in history. And the last film is Ratchet & Clank by Rainmaker Entertainment, based on the popular platforming video game series of the same name. I put this one last because it's the only one that doesn't have a scheduled release date or even a certain time frame such as the month or season it comes out. But still, as of right now, it is supposed to come out this year. This movie is said to be an origin story of the titular characters Ratchet and Clank, following the plot of the first game in the series while expanding on certain plot points and giving them a bit more focus. This is also supposedly what Rainmaker is planning to do with their Sly Cooper movie in 2016. While I'm not hugely familiar with the game series, I do have memories of playing it at a friend's house many years ago, but haven't played since. This still looks like it'll be a fun movie. It might even encourage me, along with many others, to start playing the games some more. So that's the animation lineup for 2015. I'd say this year looks pretty promising, with my most anticipated movies being Hotel Transylvania 2, Inside Out, and Peanuts. I'll be reviewing all of these movies after I see them, so stay tuned for those videos. In the description you can find all the currently released trailers of the movies I talked about in this video, as well as my social media if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, or any of those sites. I'll catch you guys later, and thank you for watching.